Hello. Can I? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to call the meeting to order. This is the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. The date is Thursday, October 5th, 2023, 7 p.m. I'd like to call the meeting to order. I guess the next item is the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would request everyone to please rise, and I would request Elena Prado, the Commissioner, to lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Prado. And I guess the next item is roll call, please.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Present.
Commissioner Martinez,
Present.
Commissioner Prado,
Present.
Vice Chair Patak,
Present.
Chair Patnaik.
Present. I guess we have a full quorum, and I guess the next item is the presentations. Madam?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Tonight, we will have an informal update on activities from the Recreation Services Division. Noticeably absent is the Senior Center. They are setting up for their health fair, which is tomorrow morning. So we only have one report this evening, followed by Employee of the Month presentation, which the chair is aware of how to conduct that. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jill.
Thank you, Ms. Titus. Chairperson Patnaik, members of the commission. The operational hours for the community centers changed this past Sunday, October 1st. Cerritos Park East, Heritage Park, and Liberty Park will be open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on weekdays and from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Saturdays and Sunday. On Friday, October 13th, kids are invited to participate in Half Pints Night, titled Jumping Jamboree. Space is still available for children ages 3 to 5 years of age. Participate in a variety of themed activities from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at Heritage Park. Resident registration is $10 and $15 for non-residents. Test your accuracy and shot-making abilities by participating in the Fall Target Challenge on Saturday, October 21st at the Cerritos Ironwood 9 Golf Course. Participants ages 18 to adult will compete in a series of challenges on the driving range to win points for a chance to win awards. The cost is $16 for residents and $24 for non-residents. Kids between the age of 5 and 14 are invited to enter a poster contest themed "With Art, Dreams Come True." Kids may create a drawing or painting no larger than 11 by 17 inches using their choice of materials, such as pencils, chalk, crayons, and watercolors. Entries must be delivered to the Recreation Services Division at City Hall no later than 5 p.m. on Wednesday, October 18th. Winning posters will be displayed on the city's website, cerritos.us, starting Monday, October 30th through Monday, November 27th. Parent-Child Create Art with Me is being offered at Cerritos Park East, starting on Wednesday, October 18th through November 15th from 10:15 to 11:15 a.m. This 5-week class allows participants ages 2 to 4 years old, along with their adult partner, to explore different types of art using their imagination and creativity to make new masterpieces each week. Only the child must register for the class, and the cost is $23 for Cerritos residents and $35 for non-residents. The Recreation Services Division is currently preparing for numerous Halloween-themed activities. An Adaptive Families Halloween party will take place on Friday, October 20th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at Cerritos Park East. Individuals with special needs and their families will enjoy an evening of creepy crafts, spooky snacks, and dancing the Monster Mash. Pre-registration is required for participants and each family member attending. Registration is $10 for residents and $15 for non-residents. The Parent-Child Groovy Ghoulies program will be held on Saturday, October 28th from 3 to 5 p.m. at Liberty Park. This popular activity for 2 to 4-year-olds allows children to wear their spooky costumes while creating special Halloween crafts. Adult participation is required, and the cost is $17 for residents and $26 for non-residents. In partnership with the Los Cerritos Center, the annual Halloween Festival will be held at the Los Cerritos Center near the dining court parking lot on Tuesday, October 31st from 5 to 9 p.m. Bring the whole family and enjoy costume parades, entertainment, carnival rides, game booths, and gourmet food trucks. Registration for the city's Youth Boys and Girls Basketball League is also approaching. Residents can register online beginning Saturday, November 4th, starting at 10 a.m. Non-residents may begin registering online on Saturday, November 11th, also at 10 a.m. The Youth Basketball League is offered to boys and girls ages 5 to 13, and games will be played during the months of January through March. The cost is $55 for residents and $83 for non-residents. Interested in teaching the game of basketball to the next generation, whether you are a parent, grandparent, or simply someone who loves the game of basketball, serve as a youth sports volunteer coach during the upcoming season. Volunteer coaches 18 years or older are required to undergo a certification process, which includes fingerprinting and mandatory preseason meetings. For more information, please contact the Cerritos Sports Complex at 562-916-8590. Adaptive Game Night is being held on Saturday, November 18th from 5 to 7 p.m. at Cerritos Park East. Participants ages 16 to adult can spend an evening playing board games, card games, and other organized games to encourage socialization skills and making new friends. This program is free and a light snack will be provided. With the holidays quickly approaching, I would like to make a special announcement regarding the city's Santa's Holiday Float program. Starting tomorrow, Friday, October 6th at 10 a.m., Cerritos resident families wishing to enter a lottery for a chance to ride Santa's Holiday Float can visit the city's website, cerritos.us. Only one entry submission per household will be accepted through Sunday, October 29th, and selected entries will be notified via email by Wednesday, November 8th. Learn more about all of these exciting programs in the Fall Community Services Program. You may also contact the Recreation Services Division at 562-916-1254 for more information. That concludes my report. My colleagues and I would be happy to answer any questions.
Wonderful. That's a great presentation. A lot of activities going to be crammed up in the next less than 3 months as such. But all these numbers that you mentioned about the cost, are they in line with what was charged the previous years, or has there been an increase, decrease, or obviously not decrease, but...
Yes, thank you for the question. So the prices are in line with what we have previously charged before COVID, yes.
Great, great. Any questions, comments from my colleagues here?
No, nothing.
Nothing? Great, okay. Thank you, thank you
you.
again.
Great
presentation. So, moving on, I guess the next item is
It's going to be your Employee of the Month
Employee of the Month.
presentation.
Okay, so we were able to kind of, we used to do that, right? A few years ago. And thank you for trying to redo this again. Very much appreciated. So we have one Employee of the Month. And let me go and read that. Hello? Okay. So, the Employee of the Month Recreation Services Division is for the candidates for Employee of the Month award are nominated by administrative staff in the Recreation Services Division. Individuals who have put forth the extra effort to further enhance the division's goal of providing the highest quality programs and services to the community are presented with this award. Tonight, we have one employee who will be recognized as the Employee of the Month for the month of August. When your name is called, please come forward. I would like my other colleagues to please come here. The employee's name is Nathan Jones. Congratulations, Nathan. He's a senior lifeguard. Nathan Jones is being recognized for his efforts and excellent customer service at the Cerritos Olympic Swim and Fitness Center during the month of August. Nathan made outstanding contributions towards the success of our Learn to Swim program and training sessions throughout the month. He worked very closely with coordinators, lifeguards, swim instructors, and cashiers to ensure every shift he supervised went as smooth as possible, flawless. Nathan was also responsible for facilitating multiple areas at monthly staff trainings, which cover facility policies and procedures, first aid, and water safety drills. Congratulations. Nathan's positive attitude, problem-solving abilities, and excellent communication skills continues to be valued as a value-added asset to the Recreational Services Division. Congratulations once again. So, time for a photograph. Yeah. Yeah, you should be in the middle. Yeah, you should be in the middle.
All right, okay, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. Take a couple shots. 1, 2, 3.
Before you take the next one, everyone take a giant step that way so you're in the backdrop area.
Okay.
Keep going.
Keep going, okay, all right. Keep. Oh, okay, you covered that. Okay.
Okay. More? Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, hearty congratulations. Okay, I guess the next item is the public comments and suggestions. Anybody? I see none. We can close this particular item. Moving on.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to, on record, state that we did not receive any written correspondence by the deadline.
Okay, thank you. The next item is item number 6, which is the approval of minutes. So I guess everyone has got a copy of the minutes. Unfortunately, we don't have hard copies, but you can certainly download. But if you've gone through the minutes, if there's any issues, let us know. If not, let's move to approve it.
I have one item under the minutes. Item number 5, second paragraph. It says John referenced AYSO soccer. Do we have John's last name? Do we need John's last name?
By law, we do not, no one has to provide their name, and they're certainly not required to provide their last name. We did rerun the tape, but he did not provide his last name.
Okay.
So were we able to do that, we would have put it in, but
Okay,
he didn't provide it.
okay, thank you.
Well, good to know. It's a good observation. So if there are no more comments, is there a motion to approve the minutes? Pino Patak?
Yes.
Anyone seconding?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Minutes approved.
Do we need?
Yeah, if you could. We're still in training mode for our new system. So if you could go ahead and electronically vote on your screen,
Electronically.
that would be
Alright.
delightful.
Okay.
That will be nice. So, I see, okay.
What is that? Motion by Okay, yay. So, okay, did we go through?
Has everyone voted?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Motion carries.
Oh, let's see, someone didn't. I think he did.
Okay.
Oh, good job.
Thank you. We passed.
We got it this time. Okay.
All right, okay. The next item on the list is item number 7, which is new and old business. 7A, presentation of City Council approved capital improvement projects, which could potentially impact recreation service facilities for fiscal year 2023-2024.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will actually be presenting this item tonight. So if I may, turn your attention to the screen and I will go over just some highlights of the many projects that we have going on. We work alongside our Public Works and Engineering Division to get most of these projects taken care of. But I do have a PowerPoint presentation with some photos, so you can use your picture-in-picture option there if you want to blow it up so you can see those pictures nice and crisp on the screen, and I will get started.
This one?
First slide is a listing of the projects that are being slated for this year. And as you can see, there's a variety of things, most of which are not new items, but just rehabilitation, refurbishment, some enhancements at all of our facilities. So just to highlight a couple here on this list, with the budgetary allocation is the citywide playground improvements. That's an annual allocation of $25,000. And that is used should we need to ensure that we have the ADA compliance taken care of at a particular facility. So it's just in case, you never know. But that allocation does allow for us to order equipment should we need to do that. At Liberty Park, there's a playground resurfacing program, which is going to include the track and the main playground surfacing. The surfacing is obviously outdoors 365 days a year under, as in today's case, extreme heat, sometimes with the rain, and the parks are used so frequently. For example, at the track at Liberty, between 80 and 100 people per hour are out there using that track, and so it does experience some wear and tear just naturally from use. So there's $100,000 allocated for that project. The big kahuna there next is the golf course at $1 million for the restoration of the course, mainly on the west side of the golf course. And this is not city dollars that are paying for this. We had a pipeline leak in December of 2022, causing us to shut down the course, and it has been shut down since that time. We reopened the driving range May 14th of this year, and our hope, because this project is now underway, is that we can restore the golf course on the west side and get things reopened by mid-January. So we're hopeful for that. But we have $1 million slated for that. There's some other work they're going to be doing out there that is not associated with this, but our Parks Division is taking care of that. Over at the sports complex, we have the perimeter fence, lots of linear feet of fencing. And over the years, the tertiary water, the reclaimed water, will slowly start to rust the wrought iron there. And so we end up with missing slats and so on. Last year, they did a great majority of the slat replacement and repainting on the east side, and they're just kind of slowly moving towards Bloomfield on the west side. Last fiscal year, the entire sports complex was also refurbished, the fence around there as well. So that, and then at Heritage, the building roof needs to be replaced. You'll see some pictures here shortly. And let me take a step back. There's $100,000 for that perimeter fence refurbishment at Sports and $225,000 for building roof replacement at Heritage. We do experience quite a number of leaks, Samir, every time we have rain. So get them buckets out. So we need to replace that roof. So it finally made the cut, and we're going to be spending about $225,000 on that. So with that, I'll just go through a couple of slides. I just wanted to show you some pictures and the reasons why these projects have been identified for this fiscal year. So this is the Liberty Park walking track. The walking track prior to the renovation and dedication in 2005 used to be decomposed granite, or DG. Not really friendly for your joints. So during the major renovation, when the community center was renovated, we installed a rubberized surface. So a lot better, but as you can see, there's some wear. You see those spots there, and then there's a couple little areas around the track where, a lot of times it could be equipment that runs over it and causes, on the left-hand side there, those little areas where the surfacing is gone or missing. So it's over time, it needs to be done. It's been refurbished once prior to this, but about every 7 to 8 years, it needs to be done again. So again, it's out 365 days a year in the elements, getting lots of use. So we're going to take care of that. The main playground at Liberty Park, we do a lot of patching at all of the playgrounds. The city council has directed that we do not install wood chips, which is a acceptable fall zone surface for the playgrounds. We're required to put in the port-in-place rubberized surfacing. However, again, you get a little hole and the kids think it's fun to play with, and next thing you know, you've got a giant, hole there with some surfacing missing. So we're going to be redoing the entire playground over there at Liberty Park, the main one. The south side is fine. The red, white, and blue one off of 195th is fine. Our friends, this is the golf course. So I get sad every time I see these pictures.
Like a
In
crater.
addition to the pipeline leak, it also rained about 9,000 days when they were trying to fix the pipeline. So what you see here is just vehicles traversing the greens and the bunkers and all of those things, and it caused quite a bit of damage out there. So this is on the west side where they will be making those repairs. The road, which you can kind of see in the picture, you see a little bit of pea gravel. They just installed, I think today or tomorrow it'll be cured, a concrete path so that trucks can traverse that area without causing any kind of damage. So there's a curb and everything. So it'll look really nice out there, and it'll be a lot better than this. But again, as you can imagine, a major pipeline leak like that, it was all hands on deck. No matter what happened, they just had to get out there and get it fixed. So anyway, golf course will hopefully be reopening in mid-January. And please stop me if you have any questions. I'd be happy
So
to answer those.
Once you're done, then I have a
Okay,
couple of questions.
not a problem.
Okay.
Our racquetball courts over at Liberty Park, we have 4. 2 are storage and 2 are used by the public. We've experienced some leaks. There's some buckling in the wood. So the racquetball courts themselves will be renovated. Engineering's trying to find the source of the water so that obviously we don't put new wood down and then have to tear it right back up because it rains again. And so this building was constructed in 88, 89 when we renovated and dedicated the park the last time. So they're a little older, and we'll take care of all those repairs. So court 1 and 2 are featured here on the screen. Picnic tables. So again, our friends, the tertiary water, reclaimed wastewater, it's got a high salt content, but it eats through everything. And so these are some picnic tables that are out at our facilities. Generally, people will come and sit and have a little lunch. We have like a picnic pad and 1 or 2 tables. People can sit and eat. And so these tables obviously have experienced some wear, and they're going to be replaced. So not any specific park. We kind of leave that up to our friends over in the Parks Division. They're out and about all the time. So they'll be able to identify which ones need to go and where they can replace put the new tables in. Sports complex. On the right-hand side of your screen, that is the recently renovated fence. So you see all the slats are there. It's they painted it nice and beautiful. So that's what the left side will look like. And if you look really closely, you'll see some missing slats. So they'll go through and replace those slats, prime it, and paint it, and it'll look very much like the right-hand side. Our maintenance friends over there in our maintenance area are getting some security enhancements, and Jill took these pictures for me. Thank you, Jill. But you probably can't even tell what is needed. But people, for some reason, feel like things that don't belong to them belong to them. So they come and they hop the fence and take things, and we've had equipment stolen and all sorts of things. So there's going to be a nice little covering. It's going to look aesthetically beautiful. Unfortunately, the little hill as you're going down the bridge over there by the flood control is almost like you can see over top of it. And so they have to do some things to get that built up a little bit to protect the equipment over there. But so we're going to be doing some security enhancements, some lighting, and those types of things. So that'll be done as well. And then Heritage Park. As you can see on the right-hand side, some missing tiles. And of course, Samir did not get on the roof to get the areas that are, we have the water breach, but that just kind of gives you an idea of what we're dealing with. The fascia board also, the brown kind of fascia is also going to be replaced. The termites are holding hands, keeping it together. So take all that off, put new wood, paint it, and then also, like I said, replace the roof. Over at Liberty Park, we used to have 3 picnic shelters. And in 2012, we experienced an earthquake that took out Camp Liberty as well as the South Picnic Shelter, both made of wood. 1989 refurbishment. So that tells you. Just took a little shaking and it went down. What's left of the picnic pad on the south side of Liberty Park, or the picnic shelter, is this picnic pad. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to be doing. Initially, the plan was to take out the majority of the concrete. There's some very mature trees over there. It's really beautiful. Right now, people are driving up the walkway and parking, using it for parking, which they're not allowed to do. But the original plan was to take out most of the cement and just leave a couple of little picnic pads for people to have lunch or, just enjoy the park. But now we may have a different plan for that, which I can't really speak on right now, but it may remain and we may do something with that. So things change. We put these projects in sometimes 3 or 4 years ago. And so as, things happen, changes are made. So we'll see what happens with that. But let's see, South Playground, we have a South Picnic Pad, $100,000 to take care of that project. So sod will be in, if we do remove the cement, we'll install sod, we'll have to install an irrigation system and things like that, to the tune of about $100,000. So that ends my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions the commission may have on any of the projects that were listed.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Titus. I think I was just doing a eyeballing of the amount. It's almost like $2.2 million.
Yes,
And,
approximately.
yeah, $2.2 million. And in the last meeting, you did mention that you're having a hard time getting people, contractors, subcontractors. Now, with the money that has been sanctioned, budgeted, and the time frame that it needs to be completed in, are we confident that we will have all the people in place to complete the projects? Otherwise, we'll see some rising costs as such.
That's a very good question. I think the costs are always going to go up. That's something that's completely out of our control. However, we have regular meetings with Public Works. I meet with them with respect to the submission of the capital projects in the budget. And then once the budget's been approved by the City Council, we meet again to talk about scheduling. A lot of what we have to do is work around people. And you don't want to make great impacts if you don't have to. So we sometimes have to plan a year or so out. And so a project, for example, may be considered, but we won't put it on the list for approval because we know there's going to be a tournament or a swim meet or something going on.
Disruption,
Yeah, and we don't want to disrupt that. We want people to be able to, in the groups and schools, to be able to do their events. Most of what we do happens in the spring. We have a lot of engineers now. We've hired some more folks. So the hope is that we can get these stay on schedule. We're dependent upon the weather. The rain always impacts everything, especially when you're dealing with concrete or surfacing and those types of things. So you will find, Mr. Patnaik, you've been on the commission for a while, as has Mr. Martinez. Most of our playground dedications are in June.
Right.
Because we have to wait until we can, one, get the contractor, and then also when the weather clears up. So, but yes, to answer your question, we do our very best. There's a whole calendar of activities because we're not the only ones. I'm not the only person that has capital projects. There's lots of others going on. But we do our best. It has been difficult since the pandemic. But again, those are external factors that we really have no control over. So,
Okay, good. Thank you for answering my question. My colleagues here.
Sherry, does Southern California Edison put any restrictions or prohibitions on things that we can or cannot do, for example, at Liberty or any other park in the city?
yes, thank you for that question. We have lease agreements with Southern California Edison for Edwards Park, the sports complex, the golf course, Gridley Park. There's one other. El Rancho Verde. They do not approve any new construction of anything under any of their easements for any agreements existing or brand new. You can basically put in and refurbish the blight that is out there, so installing sod and those types of things. We are allowed to make maintenance upgrades like for like. So if I already had a playground footprint there, I can make improvements to the playground. The trees have to be cut at a certain height. I mean, there's a lot of restrictions in their agreement. They have to have 24-hour access to those power lines. So you can't really put a structure anywhere because a truck or whatever has to be able to get in there to do any maintenance work that needs to occur. So yeah, they're pretty restrictive. It's no different than an apartment where your landlord says you can paint the walls, you got to paint them back, or you can't do this, you can't change this out. It's a very similar agreement.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. Any other comments, questions? Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question. I think you started to touch on this, so I know you gave us an estimated timeline for the golf course and spring for some of the other projects. What about overall in terms of timeline that we're looking at?
So let me grab my list here. Some of these things I did not mention. Replacement of park amenities. Those are being purchased now. As a matter of fact, Samir has already purchased and received the barbecues. And those stay in storage. As one needs to be replaced, our maintenance folks will go out and replace them. The picnic tables are going to be on order probably November 1st. We have a grant, we have a entity that we work with, a company that's through a CMAS purchasing, and they have a grant process every year, and it's usually around the end of October, beginning of November. So I'll be ordering those to save the city as much money as we can around that time frame. Some of these other items will have to go to bid because they're over the threshold. And so it's just a function of getting it on the agenda. The engineer's going to bid, me reviewing the packet, it going to bid, opening the bids, how many did we get, is it reasonable, and then it going to council for approval. So they're really good we have a really good engineering department, and they, like I said, we've got some more people in place now that can manage these projects. So the sooner we can get them done, the better. Do they overlap fiscal years? Sometimes. We've had several of late since COVID. It's just been crazy because of there's no supplies or no people to do the work. So some of them have been overlapping the last few years, but we really try in earnest to get them done before the end of the fiscal year.
So when it goes over the budget, estimated budget, and if it spills over to the following year, will it be taken away from that new year budget, or you're going to have some sort of a deficit, which you'll probably...
There's a budget amendment that is required because
Yeah.
it wasn't budgeted in a particular year procedurally. No, usually there's some sort of way that our budget manager does the carryover for a project that's still ongoing. Sometimes the permitting, if we have a project, for example, that we used to do a federal program for the surfacing, and if we can't, there's so much reporting that has to be done. Just because of that reporting, it has to...
And the oversight.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. So some things are out of our control, but like I said, we really try to get them done before the end of the fiscal year because it just means more paperwork, and no one wants to do that. So,
So I have one quick question. Liberty Park picnic pad, you said that it is not decided yet?
it was decided,
Yeah.
but we may be doing something different over there, which again, I can't really speak on because it hasn't been firmed up. But we're looking into another alternative for that space. So before we do anything, we're going to take a look at that and see.
So what is the timeline on that one?
That one's also probably going to be a spring thing because if it's cement, things that have to cure, unlike this week where it's been nice and warm,
Yeah.
it gets cold and it doesn't do well when there's cold or moisture and those types of things. It's a lot better when it's nice and warm outside.
So that one will probably go to the next budget.
I don't think so. It's either going to be a demolition of the existing pad,
Right.
installation of sod, and some irrigation, or it'll be something else. And if it's something else, it can be done this year.
Yeah, it's becoming a very popular place now. You know, a lot of people.
Yeah, I
uses
think
that type
our
of-
issues, Samir supervises that place, but when I'm there, it's usually people trying to park there or set up a big, huge tent, and
Yes.
it just becomes a lot. There's nothing out there. We don't have tables and chairs, and so people bring these large tents, which cause other issues. So that's not the reason why we want to change it, though. It was recommended because I feel like it's just a kind of a wasted space, and there's nothing being
right.
done there. We're not going to put another picnic shelter, so let's just get rid of it so we can make it a usable space for people.
Thank you.
I've got a question. On the sports complex, you're doing all the fences and everything else. When are you going to start on the fields?
So that's a very good question. As you know, and I think I reported last time, we only got one bid. It wasn't a viable bid. They're going out to bid again. We've blocked off the same time frame, if I'm not mistaken, next year. Jill's already done that. So it's about a 3-month process for them to do the soil amendments and all the remediation, get the soil, fresh soil in, and then put the sod down and then have it take. And that's the period of growth that we need those last probably 6 weeks. So we've got the time blocked off, and we just reset it for next year, and hopefully we will have some solid bids that we can
That's
have
great
somebody
for
come
the
out.
kids.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay, good. That's great for the kids.
Yes.
Okay, if no more questions, then we can move on to item number 7B. By the way, thank you very much, Ms. Titus, for doing an excellent presentation and doing a deep dive on all the projects that are hopefully coming to a fruition pretty soon.
Yes. And I want to mention also, I am the one that puts this together, but there's a whole lot of people that are doing all this work. So,
Well, you can convey our sincere thanks to them.
some of them are
There
sitting
you go
right
then.
here.
Okay,
So,
thank you guys.
yeah, because they manage
you.
the actual
Yeah,
facilities and things.
okay.
So
Thank
we
you,
work
thank you.
together.
Yep, great.
Great job.
Great job. Okay, 7B is review and consideration of a process to recruit community members to lead the Pledge of Allegiance at Parks and Recreation Commission meetings through June of next year, 2024.
Thank you, Mr.
And-
Chair.
Yeah, just
This
wanted
was
to
this.
just acknowledge the fact that you did some great findings and you have done a great report. All yours.
Thanks. This was your request, and in an effort to help, I talked to the city attorney, trying to make sure we were all up and up with the Brown Act, because that's a big deal,
Yes.
So tonight, Jill's going to be presenting this report, and after which she and I will answer any questions you have.
Great.
Great, thank you.
Jill?
All right. Thank you, Ms. Titus. Chairperson Patnaik, members of the commission, it is my pleasure to present to you item 7B, review and consideration of a process to recruit community members to lead the Pledge of Allegiance at Parks and Recreation Commission meetings through June 2024. At the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting on August 3rd, 2023, Chairperson Patnaik asked staff to look into the possibility of bringing back youth sports teams, groups, or individuals to lead the Pledge of Allegiance at future commission meetings. This was previously coordinated by Parks and Recreation Commissioners, independent of city staff involvement, and in accordance with the City of Cerritos Administrative Policy, Manual Policy, number 6.02.040, Commission and Committee Scope of Authority Policy. The Parks and Recreation Commission primarily serves as an advisory body to the City Council, does not possess the power to establish city policy, nor direct the use of city resources, including city employees. In an effort to assist this time, staff worked with the city attorney to develop a system. The recommendation will comply with both the city administrative policy and the Brown Act. Attached is the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting schedule through the end of the current fiscal year. It is suggested that commissioners sign up for a meeting date and invite local youth sports teams, groups, or individuals to lead the pledge. Once confirmed, that commissioner should provide the information solely and directly to the chairperson of the commission. It is recommended that the Parks and Recreation Commission review the information in the staff report and determine that the recommended process is acceptable to achieve the goal of recruiting local teams, patrons, and groups to the commission meetings to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. That concludes my report. Ms. Titus and I would be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Toda. That's great that y'all kind of did some homework and made sure that we were not in a violation of the Brown Act and consulted the attorney, and you have gotten back to us. So thank you for that. And I think really we want to get this thing going. So it's pretty clear. It's very well laid out. I guess we all need to collectively try and get some groups of people, local teams, to come to some of the forthcoming meetings and lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance. I don't know if there is any questions or comments.
No, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. So on that note, I want to thank you again for putting a closure on this item. Thank you again.
Real quickly, it is an action item that would require a motion, but I did want to mention too, in case it came up, we didn't want to tie the hands of another commission, so we just went through the end of the fiscal year. It could be something that is requested for the future, or if the chair is interested
Right.
or the commission brings it up, we can follow the same process. But we just wanted to kind of get it for, the rest of the fiscal year.
Okay.
So just
So
as a
anyone
point of information.
wanting to make a motion to adopt this
Yeah.
procedure?
I'll do the motion.
So we got a motion on the floor,
Motion
and we
on the
got
floor.
Pino Patak,
I'll second it.
and okay. So we got a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We have to
guess
do
where
it
do we
here.
press? Where is it? How do you go back? There you go.
Where? Here?
All right. Click your buttons.
Where? Here?
Yeah, go ahead. Just anywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we got all green here.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. Thank you very much again. Okay, so moving along, we have done 7, which is 7A and 7B. Number 8, item number 8 is communications, which is essentially the reports from Parks and Recreation Commissioners. So, Ms. Prado?
I
making
don't have
comments?
anything right now, no.
No? Okay. None? None? You want to say something, Pino?
No, I have just a one question, and the citizen, when they wanted us to put something on the agenda, what is the procedure that we get? They will come up and say, "This is our suggestion."
The procedure, Mr. Vice Chair, is that you probably need to go through your appointed council member.
Okay.
Because again, as we just read on that agenda report, the commission cannot create work or
Right.
any of those types of things for staff. So best thing to do would be to talk to your council member who appointed you. If they gain consensus from the other council members, then the item can be
On the
considered
agenda.
by the commission if they choose to send it here. If not, they may, talk about it on their own. But that's the route you should take.
Because normally when we are talking to citizens, they all have some kind of a suggestion, good and bad,
Mm-hmm.
There's some classic good examples that I've heard this time, and I thought I would check with you.
So if there's just a comment made by a patron,
Right.
absolutely send them to us. If it's the water was too cold in the pool, I was in swim lessons the other day, we can take care of that. That's not something that needs to go to the council. However, if it's something you're like, hey, we should really start this,
New
we
program.
need event, we need
Yeah.
a whatever event, that's something that definitely needs to get
Great.
the attention of your council member. But you all have our information, the phone number at Recreation Services. They can
Yes.
call City Hall. There's an email to the Recreation Services Division. You can put a comment on our Seamless Docs on the website. There's several ways to get that information to us. And I will say that our residents generally don't have a problem letting us know exactly how they feel, good, bad, or
Right.
indifferent. So encourage them to let us know. If it becomes something that is like something we really should look at. If we don't have our finger on that pulse, then we would, we as staff can initiate a study or research or whatnot once we get the city manager's approval. So it just really depends on what it is.
What it is. Thank you.
But you can have them call me.
Actually, there's an item here, item number 5, which is public comments and suggestions. Could it come under that?
Absolutely. We encourage people to come to these public meetings all the time and, you know, so that you can hear what the public has to say. You know, if it's just something simple, certainly wouldn't want to bring anybody out, you know, at night, but this is what these meetings are for. So they should be encouraged to come, good, bad, or indifferent. That's what the public comments and suggestions portion is intended for.
Good. Thank you.
One more comment, or don't know if there could be a suggestion. What about adding any other item in the agenda? Could it be brought under that?
For something like that, no, that would not be considered at that point. As a matter of fact, we don't have other items for future agenda any longer. All the agendas
to
are
have that
standard.
before.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore. All of them have been
We're
standardized.
not creating any work for you guys.
Yeah, that's some of the, yeah. So we don't want to confuse you, you know, and I think that's kind of why everything just went to a standardized format. But yeah, sometimes we'll have things we want to bring up, and generally I can mention it, but not really right now. We don't have anything, but we could say, hey, we were asked to do this, and it'll come to you at some point. So.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. No?
I will add that the senior center is going to have a Halloween party on October 27th. It's a lunch, if anybody wants to go. And tomorrow is the health fair over there.
Yes.
So, which would be good for people to attend.
Yes.
Okay, I guess we have completed pretty much all the items in the agenda. So I'd like to, the time is 7:47. I'd like to adjourn the meeting.